Hello, everyone. Welcome to Your Take, My Take, Episode 3 by John and Jacob. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
And today we'll be talking about the top 5 best NBA players right now. And so today we'll start off with our coin flip. And Jacob, you can call it in there.
Heads.
It is tails.
Oh, okay.
So today I'll go first. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to my nephew Brett. It was his birthday yesterday. I told him I would give him a shout out. So happy birthday, Brett. And also happy Valentine's Day one day early for everyone who's celebrating Valentine's Day. For the people who aren't celebrating Valentine's Day, you probably need to find someone to celebrate Valentine's Day with. So here are my top five NBA players right now. And I'll go over it and Jacob and I will talk about it. Number 1, LeBron James. LeBron James is having a big year this year. His Lakers are playing well. He's by far the best player on the Lakers right now. He's averaging 25 points a game, close to 8 rebounds and 8 assists, and he's shooting at a good clip. I actually think his shooting has gotten better. He used to be a liability on that end, but now I think his shooting has improved where people need to respect that and has made his game that much better. Number 2, Nikola Jokic, the Joker. He's probably the most skilled in terms of all facets of the game. For a guy being 7 foot, being not very athletic, he can shoot, he can pass, he understands the flow of the game of basketball very well, and literally the whole team goes through him. One statistic that I thought that was pretty interesting for him that I was able to find out was that he averages 1.7 steals, which is almost 2 steals a game. For a guy not being very athletic, to get almost 2 steals a game, and for not being the best defensive player, that's pretty impressive. That means he understands the concepts of basketball and the different offenses and defensive schemes and to anticipate certain things on the basketball court. So that makes him very good on that end. But offensively, he's nearly unstoppable. Number 3, my main man, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's a rat or a snake, but I like Kevin Durant's offensive game. He is virtually unstoppable when he is focused and when he wants to score. We've seen them do it over and over. He is probably the best offensive player in terms of scoring that I've ever seen in my lifetime. And that includes Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson. Those were gifted scorers. But the thing that Kevin Durant has, and he's shown it this year, is that he's nearly unblockable, and he can score from anywhere in the court. Being 7 foot and being able to shoot and drive and have that athletic ability, he is nearly unstoppable when he wants to score. Number 4, Joel Embiid. He's playing really well, and I actually like him a lot. The 76ers are number 1 in the East by a good margin, and he's the reason why. He's playing like a man possessed. I think he's tired of hearing about Giannis, LeBron, Anthony Davis being better than him. He's playing like it. He's averaging 29 points, 11 rebounds, 1.3 blocks. He's up there in almost all the offensive categories, and also he's very good defensively. What I like about him is that he's probably one of the NBA's best trash talkers, and he gets in people's heads. I mean, he owns Andre Drummond. He owns a bunch of centers that don't. He owns, unfortunately, he owns Ayton, our boy here in Phoenix. But I think the ability for him to control the game, being 7'1", is quite remarkable. Kind of similar to Jokic, but Jokic is a little bit more skilled. Number 5, I have Steph Curry. I'm always partial to the little guy. Jacob and I play the guard position, and so I like Steph Curry. But his numbers are showing that he is in the top 5. He's averaging 30 points a game. He's shooting an incredible amount of threes and making a lot of threes. The biggest statistic for him is last year when he wasn't playing, it took the Warriors 66 games, I believe, to win 14 games. It's only taken them a few games this year to get to that point, and it's because of him. He makes that team better. They triple team him, double team him all the time, but he's still getting his shots and still getting good. Mm-hmm. However, I have to put a little caveat. Number 5, I'm going to put a little wrinkle on it. I believe it's pretty close. It'd be like a 5A and 5B. I'm going to put my main man, Donovan Mitchell, on there. People are going to think that's crazy because there's a lot of good players out there, and I'll name some of those later on. But Donovan Mitchell plays for the number one team in the NBA right now, the Utah Jazz. He is literally the only player on their team that I believe that can create and make his own shot. He's the only offensive threat, and he does it day in, day out, and he's a great defensive player. He is their man on the offensive side, and the Jazz's offensive production has gotten up a lot, and that's due to him and his improvements. He's a great player, and I think in the last 10 games, he's averaging over 50% on his three-point shot, which used to be not his strength. And so you're seeing the development of Donovan Mitchell, and I think he should be considered as one of the dark horse to win the MVP and be considered one of the top players in the NBA. Considering that, I have to throw out honorable mentions: Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, Luka.
They will all be on my list.
They're pretty good, but those are my top 5, 6 that I put in there. And so let's listen to Jacobs.
So we have a lot of different players, I would say. You have Joel Embiid at number 4. I have him at number 1. I think nobody in the NBA can even come close. He gets his way. He can shoot. He can rebound. He can block. He can do anything he wants. Number 2 is Kevin Durant, and I think he's the number 2 player because he can do anything. He's probably, I would say, the best offensive player in the NBA right now. I'd say he's better than Giannis because Kevin Durant is a 2-time champ, and Giannis hasn't even done anything in the playoffs. People say he might be one of the worst MVPs just because he doesn't do anything.
No, that's Steve Nash, 2-time worst MVP of all time.
Yeah, but Giannis, he's not number 3, but he would be a lot higher if he could develop a shot. He looks like it's not natural for him, but he's like really big and can do anything he wants besides shoot because most teams are letting him shoot now, and it's gonna struggle for them now. Number 4, Luka. One of my favorite players. Whenever I watch him, I just think nobody can guard him either. He averages 28, 9, and 8, which is unbelievable. He's one of the youngest players to score 4,000. The 2 people ahead of him are Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal, both Hall of Famers. And he's number 3.
Both are laughing at you that you would even compare Luka to Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal. But
Luka's a better shooter.
Go ahead.
I think Luka understands the game more too.
He's probably the most overrated player in the NBA. Him and Trae Young. But go ahead.
I don't like Trae Young. But number 5, James Harden. He would have been a lot higher, but he had lots of problems at the beginning of the season, but he's really picked it up. And I had an honorable mention too, Bradley Beal. That guy averages 33 points, best player on the Wizards by far.
Well,
you feel bad for them when you see like all these other players that wouldn't be starting on other teams, and then you see Bradley Beal, and he just looks kind of sad out there. Does whatever he wants though, and he's really good.
I think you can put a very good NBA player on the Wizards, and they'll average the same amount Bradley Beal does. Bradley Beal gets to shoot and do anything he wants on that team, and so him averaging 33 points on a really bad Wizards team.
But he still gets a lot of points, and he's the main man.
So let me explain why Jacob's take is so far off. How could Jacob Nosdell here not have LeBron James even in his top 6?
He's an honorable mention.
Not even in the top 6. LeBron James at his old age is still dominating the league.
Do any of these guys have a player like Anthony Davis on their team?
Yes.
Montez Harrell.
Kevin Durant has James Harden and Kyrie Irving.
If LeBron goes out, will they notice a lot of dramatic changes on their team?
Yes. If LeBron James got hurt, the Lakers would be probably a 4th, 5th, 6th seed in the playoffs in the West.
So.
Anthony Davis was the man in New Orleans and never got
the number
past
1
the
man
first
right
round.
now.
But you don't have Anthony Davis in your top 5.
Well, I was gonna get to him with LeBron. They're like 7 and 8.
Then it's Trae Young. Again, the fact that he put Luka in the top 5.
Luka is in the top 5.
So Jacob and I both love the game of basketball, but one clearly understands the game of basketball, and one has weird perceptions of who they believe to be number 1.
I like winners.
Let me explain Luka. Luka hasn't won anything. Luka isn't even very good in defensively. He's one of the worst defensive players. He gets abused by anyone athletic. And we've never seen him really close out games.
He was doing unbelievable in the bubble.
Yeah,
winner.
So was Devin Booker.
Yeah, but like Devin Booker, every time he gets touched, he gets really mad about it. Luka, smartest player in the NBA, one of them.
No,
he understands the game.
No.
One of them, he reminds me a lot of, who was I going to say? Oh, I forgot. But he's really smart at the game.
So Luka has potential to be good and has potential to be great.
He's an MVP candidate too.
The problem with Luka is not overly athletic. I think we're seeing the ceiling hit pretty early in his career. The only way he can get better than what he is right now is he has to get stronger and better shape. He's not in very good shape, and I think sometimes you'll see him get abused by more athletic players. The NBA is filled with 6'8" athletic freaks out there, and sometimes he struggles against those people. He struggles against people like Paul George, or Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James. Those guys are freak athletes. No one's going to say Luka Doncic is a freak athlete. Everyone else on your list is I would consider to be pretty much freak athletes.
You don't like Luka? He literally.
I don't like Luka or Giannis. We have seen Giannis put up MVP numbers and not do anything. Yeah. So how could he be third on your list when he's Bucks
still really good? We're talking about the top 5 players right now.
Yeah,
I'm surprised no one put Jaylen Brown.
Well, Jaylen Brown might not even crack the top 15.
No, I think he's in the top 10.
So you guys can write comments about your opinion about the top 5. I've actually destroyed Jacob's opinion about his top 5. And so if you guys have any questions or your take on it, but, Jacob loves the big men, I guess. He loves, actually not all big men. He loves Joel Embiid. He is having a good year. I'll agree with that. That's why he's 4th on my list. But the fact that he didn't give out Steph Curry a shout out.
Yeah, that's hard for me.
I mean, that's used to be Jacob's favorite player, and he doesn't even put him in the top 5, which is ridiculous. Yeah. Because I've watched a lot of Warriors games, and he is unstoppable. They have to double team him from the time that he crosses half court because he can score anywhere on the court. Similar to Damian Lillard. I'm surprised you didn't put Damian Lillard on the list. He's better than Bradley Beal.
No.
So
I also like Luka because it reminds me every day that the Suns choked on that pick. DeAndre Ayton is gonna be. I think he's 4th best in that draft class. I look back and I'm just like, well, imagine how good our team is.
That's a whole different episode talking about the mistakes that Phoenix Suns had.
We'll rip on the Suns, the Pistons.
Wait, not the Pistons.
Yes,
the Pistons have won multiple championships. The Suns have never won a championship. The Pistons'
best player is Jeremy Grant.
And he's good.
That's all I gotta
he's
say.
Going to be an all-star, and he's a front-runner for most improved. Detroit Pistons.
Isn't Mikal Bridges front runner?
He's most improved, probably, don't you think?
Yeah, so is Jeremy Grant.
Oh, I did say that, didn't I? So
is Christian Wood, another Pistons player.
Former Piston. But
yeah.
Jacob's trying to get to me by saying that the Pistons are bad. They're bad right now. But you know what? We have a strong traditional history of being a powerhouse. I don't care what he says about the Pistons. They could be the worst team in the league. I'll support them through the rest of my life. You know why? Because we have won championships. We have rings. The Phoenix Suns have nothing.
It's sad.
And so the Pistons, tough. We're always going to be tough, and we're always going to have loyal fans. You know who I am. You know who you guys are, Detroit fans. We don't sell them short. We can yell at them. We can curse at them. We can throw stuff at them. But at the end of the day, we'll always bleed blue and red because we're going to be a Detroit Pistons fan.
Yeah.
And so those are our top 5. That's the episode today. Thank you for watching. We'll be back. Again, we appreciate everyone watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be back with more in episode 4. But we appreciate you guys watching. And hopefully you guys all have a great weekend and have a good Valentine's. Thanks. Sorry, Jacob. I destroyed you today.